So for this tutorial, I am going to be using some medium weight for acrylic yarn, and this is from the Karen brand, and I really love this color, y'all. I have a new obsession with purple. And for the hook size, I am going to be using a 5mm hook. I'm using my Prim brand, so that is the letter H. And then I also have some scissors as well. Alright, so for this project, we are going to be working it in two different panels. So we're going to start with the top of the romper, and then we're going to work on the bottom, which would be the shorts. So to start for the top, it's going to be a bralette. So let's get started. So go ahead and start out by starting with a slip knot on your hook, and then once you have your yarn attached to your hook, you're going to go ahead and chain. So for this is going to be the straps that's going to wrap around your neck. So for me, I chain a total of 50. So go ahead and chain 50. That should be long enough. It's not too short and it's not too long. It's a pretty decent middle ground for sizing. Now, once you have your 50 chains, you are going to place a hold right there, and then you're going to chain an additional 3. So you should have a total of 53. So in that second chain from your hook, you are going to insert your first double crochet. We are going to be working with double crochet for this entire project. So in that second chain from your hook, you're going to insert 2 double crochets. So that was the first one, and now this is the second one. So then you're going to chain 1 and then turn your work. And that is the completion of round 1, or row 1 rather. To start row 2, in that first stitch, you're going to insert 2 double crochets. Once you have your 2 double crochets in that first stitch, in the next stitch, you're going to only insert 1 double crochet. And I know it could be a little difficult to see, but you're going to insert your hook right here on the end. Once you've inserted your last double crochet, you are going to chain 1, and then once you have your chain 1, you're going to turn your work and then begin on row 3. So for row 3, we're going to do the same thing we did before. So we're going to insert 2 double crochets in that first stitch. And you are going to repeat this pattern. So once you have your 2 double crochets, in the next few stitches, you're only going to insert 1 double crochet. So here I have inserted my last double crochet, so I'm going to chain up 1 and turn my work. And again, we're just going to repeat that same pattern. So in that first stitch, I'm going to insert 2 double crochets, and then in the next following stitches up until the end of the row, I'm only going to insert 1 double crochet. And you'll know that you're doing it right because each row is going to increase by 1 stitch. So we started out with 2 stitches, and then for the second row you should have 3, third row you should have 4, so on and so forth. And if I'm going too fast, you can always pause it or change the playback speed to slow it down or speed it up if you feel like I'm going too slow. So at the end of each row, you're always going to chain 1 and turn your work and repeat that same thing. So once I have my chain up 1, I'm going to go into this first stitch with my 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet until the end of the row, and repeat that until we have a length that is going to be covering the boob area. So you want to continue doing this up until the bralette or bra cup stops right underneath your boob. And when it comes to crocheting clothes, it's all trial and error, so try it on as you go just to see what size works best for you. Alright, so once you have the amount of rows that you need for the bra cup, we're going to start working on the body of the romper. So for this part, we are not going to be increasing anymore. So we're going to be doing the same thing, but instead we're only going to be putting 1 double crochet in that first stitch. So you're going to put 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way down the row, and then you're going to chain 1 and turn your work and repeat that same step. So you want to do this for as many rows as it takes for the top to reach your waist. So I'm going to continue this on for about 11 rows, 10 to 11 rows. So once you reach the end of the row, you are going to chain up 1 like we've been doing. So once you have your chain up 1, turn your work, and then you're going to go down the row repeating the same steps. So again, in that first stitch, you're only going to insert 1 double crochet because we are no longer increasing. So insert your first double crochet, and for the following stitches, 1 double crochet all the way down the row. And this pattern is super easy, super repetitive. So again, you're going to go all the way down the row and keep going back and forth until it reaches the length that you're going for. Again, you want this to go up until it reaches your waist length. So you can pause it right here because you're going to repeat this for a second panel. So once you have your two panels, it's now time to connect the two. So you are going to lay them on top of each other because we're going to connect it. So it's going to be like a seam in the middle of the romper. This is a freehand project that I'm doing. There's no official pattern for it. This is just the way that I learned how to make clothes. I just kind of look at things in shapes and piece it together. So we are going to be connecting the two panels with single crochet. If you're more of a slip stitch person, then by all means you can go ahead and slip stitch. But I'm just going to go up on the rows where we only did the no increase rows. So you want to go up. So you're going to single crochet on the side up until you reach the point where you started the no increase rows. So you're going to go all the way up with single crochets or a slip stitch, and you're going to remember to go into both sides. Now once you reach your stopping point, you are going to chain up one. So we have all our single crochets, so I'm going to chain up one and then cut and fasten off. So we have completed the top. So once you open that up, you'll see that the two panels are now connected with a seam going down the middle. And honestly, it looks a little funny right here, but once you have it on, it doesn't really look bad. It's not even really noticeable. So yeah, your top is now complete. So now we can work on the shorts. Now for the shorts, you are going to need the measurements of your waist. Now if you don't have any measuring tape, you honestly can just chain up and then kind of put it around your waist just to see if it fits or not. So that is another way to measure. So just keep chaining as much as you need to if, like I said, you don't have a measuring tape. So once you have all your total amount of chains, so for me, I did a total of 80. So once you have your chains, you are going to make sure everything is going in the right direction. There's no twist or anything like that because we are going to be slip stitching on that first chain to create a circle. We are working on our shorts now, so we are going to be working in the round. So once you have your slip stitch, you are going to make sure everything is straight and then chain up one. So once you have your chain up one, you're going to go ahead and chain an additional one, so you have a chain up of two. And then in that first stitch, you are going to insert your first double crochet, and then you're going to insert one double crochet in each chain all the way around until you reach the beginning again. So we have made it to the beginning of the round and we've inserted our last double crochet. So with that last double crochet, you are going to slip stitch into the top of that chain two from the beginning, and that is going to close the round like this. So to begin working on round two, you are going to chain up two and then turn your work, or you can chain up one, turn your work, and then chain up another one like I did here. But you just need a chain up of two to begin. So because for the top we went back and forth, I like for the bottoms to match. So I am going to be turning my work and then going back and forth. So normally with shorts, I would just keep going round and around in the same direction. But because, like I said, I wanted to match the top, I'm going to go ahead and go back and forth. So just make sure you're turning your work. And you saw that I made a little mistake by going into that first space with my first double crochet. You don't want to do that because that chain up two does count as your first double crochet. So you want to make sure you go into the next stitch. So don't start the round in the space that's connected to the chain two. Just go into that next double crochet stitch. So you're just going to repeat that, inserting one double crochet all the way around. So once you've made it back around and you've inserted your last double crochet, we are going to slip stitch into the top of that chain two from the beginning, and that is going to close the round. And then we're just going to keep repeating this for as many rows as we need to. And when it comes to shorts, I hate a baggy crotch. Like, y'all know what I'm talking about. I hate when the front of the shorts is super baggy. So I only do about 8 to 9 rows. So go ahead and make your 8 to 9 rows. And if needed, you can always do maybe up to 10, but no more than 10. So I went ahead and completed my rows. I did a total of 9 rows for my shorts. I did try them on just to see where they fit. So you want to try the shorts on and you want it to stop right in the crotch area. And as I mentioned, this is a freehand project, so there is no official pattern for this with sizing. I'm just kind of winging it, going as I go. So normally when it comes to shorts, I just kind of eyeball this part for the crotch. So I just fold my shorts in half just to find like a middle stitch. Now, if you feel like you want to count your stitches and get that middle number, by all means go ahead and do that. I just honestly, I don't. I just eyeball it and I feel like this is a perfect stitch right here for the middle. So that's just where I'm going to mark off because that's where I'm going to insert my crotch chain. So in that stitch that I blocked off, I'm going to go ahead and insert my stitch marker because that is just where I'm going to slip stitch. So for this part, you are going to chain up no more than 15. And I feel like 15 is a good middle ground for any size that you're doing. And I would say the longer the chain for the crotch is, the bigger the shorts are going to be. And then the shorter the chain is, the tighter it's going to be in the crotch area. So I did a chain up of 12. I usually always like to do anywhere from 10 to 12 chains. Once you have your desired chain length, you are going to insert your hook into the place where the stitch marker is with the slip stitch to connect it. So now we have made our shorts into two different leg holes. So with this crotch area right here, we have a leg hole here and a leg hole here. So to start working on our leg holes, we are going to go down this chain with our double crochet. So you're going to insert one double crochet in each chain all the way down. And then once you reach the end, you're going to start going in around for one leg hole at a time. And once you've made it down your chain, you're just going to continue on with your double crochets. And like I said, we're working one leg hole at a time. So you want to continue this, putting one double crochet in each stitch all the way around until you reach the beginning again. Remembering to slip stitch at the end of each round, and you want to repeat this for as many rows as you need to. Remember, the less rows, the more cheekier, and the more rows, the longer. I did 6 rows for my shorts, so once I've completed my 6 rows, I did go ahead and chain one and cut and fasten off, because now we're going to start working on the next leg hole. So for that, you are going to reattach your yarn to work on the other leg. All right, y'all, so we are getting closer to the end of this project. The shorts are now complete and we've already completed our top. So now all there's left to do is to put it together. So this part is really easy. So all you're going to do is you're going to lay your shorts out flat, and then you are going to get your top and lay your shorts on top of, I'm sorry, not your shorts, lay your top on top of your shorts, right sides facing each other. So you want the side that doesn't have the single crochet seam showing, then you want that to be facing up like this. So you kind of just want to play with it and go ahead and adjust everything and make sure that the stitches are lined up. So for the ends, it's not going to meet up directly with the shorts because you want it to kind of wrap around just a little bit on the back of the shorts. So like right here, you can see it wraps around just a little bit, and that's completely okay. So for this, you just want to go ahead and go down, inserting a single crochet in both sides to connect the two panels. And just to be clear, you're only going into one side of the shorts. You don't want to go on both sides and then close up the romper and then you can't open it or put it on. Just to be clear. So just go ahead and continue with your single crochets all the way across, and then once you reach the end of this row, I will meet you back, but you're just going to cut and fasten off once you reach the end. Now once everything is stitched up, you can go ahead and fold your romper right side out so that seam is not showing, and you're pretty much done with your romper. So the two pieces are put together and it looks really beautiful once you put it on. Again, this is how I learned how to make clothes. It's really not super intimidating. You just have to look at things in different shapes. So if there isn't a tutorial for a garment you're looking to make, just look at it in pieces. So look up a tutorial for a bralette and then a tutorial for shorts, and there you have a romper. And after trying on the romper, I decided that I wanted to add a little side strap on the side of the bralette. So I did mark off where I wanted that strap to be just to pull it a little bit tighter. So I just went ahead and inserted my hook and I just did a chain. I did a chain up of 80 and I did this for both sides. So after my chain up of 80 on this side, I cut and fasten off and then reattach my yarn to the other side, doing an additional 80 as well, just so I can pull the straps tighter and tie it around my back. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.